Well, it's October, it's fall, and the garden is winding down and the seed saving is in full swing. As you can see, this is some gorgeous basil that I've had growing, and a lot of it, as you can see here, is going to seed. I've gathered quite a few seeds, the seeds in these little seed pods. Let's see if I can open one up for you. See that tiny little black dot right there? That is a basil seed. So each one usually has 3 or 4 in there. I probably dropped one. We're going to go ahead and drop those right back into the bed. Hopefully this bed will reseed. I'm out here today snipping off some of the basil that is left. I want to try to leave as many flowers as I can for the bees. The bees are still working it. We've got a big bumblebee over there working on that side. And I want to leave the flowers and the seeds, but I'm going to come in and take some snippets out of these so that I can dehydrate them for cooking later. Just look at that beautiful basil. Got us a big bowl picked from that patch I just showed you, and I'm loading it in the dehydrator. You guys know I normally use the little drying bags to hang everything up, but I haven't had the best of luck with the basil because the leaves are they're thick and they're cupped. Do you see how that leaf is kind of cupped? Well, they seem to stick together in the bag and they just don't dry that well. So it's the one thing that I have found that I have not had good luck in my drying bags. So we're popping it in the dehydrator. Our dehydrator recommends that you dehydrate overnight. I prefer to do it during the day. As an example, in this batch, because I had to use the parchment paper, the top row was drying slower than the bottom row. So midway through the drying process, I rotated all of the shelves. So the bottom became the top and the top became the bottom, and I got a more even dry. So I prefer to do it during the day so that I can monitor it and I don't get the herb overly dry. So that's why I like to do it during the day. The most practical reason that I do it during the day is because our dehydrator is running on solar power. So it's just more practical to do it during the sunlight hours. This one. Oh, yes. Okay. About midway through, I rotated the stacks because I noticed that the one on the top wasn't drying as fast, and that could be because of the parchment paper, but I needed the parchment paper because, as you can see, like when some of these smaller leaves dry, they get really tiny and they would fall through. So I want to get down to this last one, which was the top one that I rotated. Oh yes, perfect. They are perfect. And you can see they've still got their beautiful green color. So I'm going to get these, I'm going to crush them and put them in jars for use over the winter so that I'll have home-grown, organic, fresh basil all winter long. Another thing that you can do to have fresh basil over winter is freeze it. So you can take your basil and chop it up. You don't want to chop it too fine, but, depending on the size of the leaf, but, in some smaller chunks, like maybe the size of these two or something, and put them in ice cubes with water, and then you can freeze those ice cubes. Of course, once they're frozen, then you could put them in a baggie or something like that, and you can freeze them that way too. So that's another way that you can do the basil. I'm not going to use up freezer space for that because I'm more than happy with drying it this way and utilizing it this way for the winter. We get plenty of fresh basil, throughout the summer. So that's it for dehydrating our basil. Another step on our journey to sustainability. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Don't forget my comment.